Yeah.
Hold on. Let me give you the link.
Send it to me. Yeah, wherever.
Yeah, we're live, by the way, just so you know, in case you were curious.
Oh, okay.
All right, we're back. I think. Hold on. Oh, wait, maybe not. Oh, no, you know why? Damn it. Now, there we go. Hold on. Let me see what happened on my YouTube. Are we live?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
live.
Fantastic. All right, look at that. Ta-da! Right? Are we back on Foxhole? Let me grab the Foxhole chat. Hold on. Boop. Sorry about that, people. Where am I at? Am I on here? Why am I not live on the Foxhole? Well, that sucks. Oh, there we are. There we are. Hi, Foxhole fam.
Yeah.
Right? I got this. I got this. There we go. See if anybody comes back. Right? Hi, people. Yeah, we've got Georgina. Georgina with the phaser gun. Yeah, I'm back. Hi, people. Hi, Leland. Dennis Lindsay. Bonnie Tennis. Michelle Janae. Mountain Dreams. Karen Caldwell. Mud Rabbit. Lynn Yale. Suitor. What up, Suitor?
Enough with the names
Oh,
already.
sorry. Thanks, Vettenmore, for the 117 gold pills. Yeah, I don't know if you saw the shenanigans earlier. All my power and stuff went out. It was crazy for just like a second there. We are good. We are up on the Foxhole. I'm guessing we're up on DLive, but I'm kind of scared to click anything, to be perfectly honest. What up, Capable? I want my MTV. Right? Uh, all right, Georgina. So, what are you doing? Are you blasting or are you just. Don't pull that shit unless you're ready to use it, man. That's all I'm saying.
That's funny. All right, I'm back. I'm
That
back.
glitch was deflating snow. The Archons and the chicken snake god Abraxas and his Yeti minions didn't persevere. No, they did not. Frightening me. Screw those guys. Screw those
All
guys.
right, we're back. I didn't.
We're
I was
back.
getting ready to go eat some food. I didn't
No,
know.
no food for you, sir. No food for no soup for you.
No soup for you.
No soup
Come
for
back
you.
1 year.
Right? Well, I'm
Somebody
glad.
thought
I
I
have
looked cute as the. Somebody thought I looked cute as the ET
as the
Georgina.
Georgina. Georgina, right? Yes, this is part two. Part
So
two.
where were we at?
Man, I
I
don't
was
even
talking
know.
about.
What the hell?
Doesn't matter.
Crop circles? We were way
It's a
past crop
complete
circles, right?
complete reset.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh, it's the
it
great
was.
reset, man.
We were talking about your last question. I think I was in the middle of talking about something,
Oh,
but it doesn't
Animal
matter at
Farm.
this point.
Weren't we talking about Animal Farm?
Yeah, but we were done with that, and I was talking about something else. So,
Yeah, I know. I mentioned
um,
something about, I manifested this fucktastrophe here, clearly.
right, yeah, you literally created it.
I did.
You use that power to find yourself a house. Now that's another lesson to tell you the power of your mind.
I
So,
know. It's crazy. Like, I speak things into existence, clearly.
right, all
Oh,
right.
oh, wait. Oh, I hear all kind of fire truck sirens and ruckus now. I wonder what happened. Maybe somebody hit a pole. Driving. See, let me tell you something about South Carolina, right quick. Right. I'm
Now
from
somebody's gonna
Ohio.
hit a pole because you
Yeah,
said
I'm
something.
from Ohio. I'm telling you, I'm from Ohio. Right. Down, they ain't got no snow trucks, no salt trucks, nothing. Like the power lines are not built for this. Like it's just ruckus, and people cannot drive on ice or snow down here. Cannot do it. It's ridiculous. Just had to say that. But
So,
so,
all right, let's get through our questions in
yeah,
case it
yeah,
happens again.
I know, right?
All right, my next question we may have covered on this show or not, but whatever. We got
Right.
new
We don't know.
people.
Right. New people,
We
new
got
stuff.
27 people watching.
Right.
Maybe they haven't heard. Um,
Right. Spread the link, guys. Tell people we're back. Tell them come on. Yeah, I like Fucktastrophe. That's my personal favorite.
gotta refuculate everything.
Right. There you go.
What's that from Trailer Park Boys when they're playing
I
space?
love Trailer Park Boys.
Oh my God, it's hilarious. They're playing space in one episode, and he makes Ricky try, and he's like, "Come on, Ricky, you try it." And he's like, "Breaker, breaker. This is rocket ship 27. Come in, Earth." He's like, "The aliens fucked over the carbonator and engine number 4. I'm gonna try and refucculate it and land on Juniper. Hopefully, they have some space weed. Over."
Right, right, right.
Yeah,
Thanks,
it was
Blonde BLQ,
hilarious.
for the phone. Much love to you. Good to see you here. Fearless says it's still Dumbo, right? Obviously. It was clearly Dumbo. Shroomed out
That
Dumbo.
movie is trippy, though. That movie is trippy.
Hell yeah. Right? Oh,
Breaker, breaker.
thanks. They
This is rocket ship
fucktaculated
27. Come in, Earth.
some space
And
weed,
try and
right?
try and refucculate it. All right, here we go.
Here we go. Thanks, Puddin' Hollow, for the cookie.
In 2014,
Right?
the ALS, or how do you say it? ALS, Ice Bucket? ALS?
Oh, ALS, yes.
In 2014, the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge swept the internet worldwide. An online conspiracy theory claims that this challenge was a cover for a satanic ritual recruitment,
Ooh.
and everyone who participated is now what?
Oh. That sounds good.
A member of the Skull and Bones Society. B, a targeted individual. C, baptized for Satan. Or D, under Luciferian mind control.
Oh, Lord. I'm going with baptized for Satan, right? It seems legit. I don't know. I never heard about this, but there are many online challenge conspiracy theories, and I almost wrote a question about it. But
Right.
we'll
so
talk about that in a
one
minute
more
here.
time.
There you go.
One more time in case people are still popping in. In 2014, the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge swept the internet worldwide. An online conspiracy theory claims that this challenge was a cover for a satanic ritual recruitment, and everyone who participated is now what? A, a member of the Skull and Bone Society. B, a targeted individual. C, baptized for Satan. D, under Luciferian mind control.
Yeah, I'm thinking baptized for Satan sounds legit to me.
Well, either way, a lot of people, okay, so I don't know how many thousands of people did it.
So many.
The answer is C, baptized for Satan. So they think that it was like everyone was like being baptized, whatever. People were unknowingly participating in this ritual, whatever. But a lot of people.
How does ice water equate to baptized for Satan? I'm just curious. How does that work?
I don't know. There wasn't a whole lot of literature on that theory. It was just one of those things, I was like, this is interesting. I never heard that.
Right.
So
crazy random internet conspiracy theories. God forbid.
Mr. Spock says Satan burns cold, right?
Well, that makes sense. Yeah. Speaking of online challenges and conspiracy theories. So there was a whole bunch. I was working. You guys know what I do for a living. We'll just leave it at that. And apparently, the new thing is the Facebook 10-year challenge, where you're supposed to post a picture of yourself from 10 years ago and one from today, right, was being used to train facial recognition. And do you know this is a fact check true? Just by the way. So any of you guys that are jumping, like Facebook does this all the time. These challenges come out of nowhere. Everybody participates, and you are giving away your information to the freaking technocratic elites, and they use it at their leisure. Like, not just training facial recognition, but there's like, there was one that was Russian facial recognition, where it was like, it makes you look old. It would you would post your picture, and then it would age you.
Yeah.
Or whatever. They were testing their systems. That was Russian facial recognition testing, apparently. All kinds of shit.
Well, it's everywhere. You can't even go to like an arcade. I went and saw The Matrix in the theaters with Aaron, and we got there early just so we could play in the arcade. And they scan your face before you play a lot of these games. So it can like whatever, create your character, or they have some reason, but they need to scan your face now. I'm like, yeah, okay, it's real interesting.
Yeah, like I'm not buying that shit. Yes, frightening me. I work for our technocratic overlords. I try to fight the good fight.
And the arcade's not the same anymore either, because you can't put coins. You have to get a little debit card.
Yeah, you got to get it. Yeah, right.
And you can only have a minimum of $5 on that card.
Of course.
So it's not like you can just like ask your parents, "Oh, can I have one more quarter?" Like, no, it's $5 increments.
That's crazy, right?
It's
They don't,
nuts.
and we don't have arcades like back in the day. Like it's all like
No,
either Dave and Buster's or it's got to be,
yeah, yeah.
some corporate run
Man,
shenanigans.
the arcade was a hangout for us back in the day.
Met
Like
bruh, right?
Friday nights, like we had a massive arcade here, and it was
Hell
just like
yeah.
nobody played games. Everybody just went and hung out there.
Hell yeah. Uh Man, so much. I don't trust any of them online challenges. Like I don't ever where you got
No,
to click to participate. Like nah, nope.
I don't either. Like I know, I'm like, no, I'm not playing this game. It's like a collective IQ test. I'm just like, nope, I'm not participating. I'm not failing that test.
What up, Green
Um,
Dragon? Thanks, Amy Joe.
it it doesn't matter what you do. You can't run from it anymore. Like
No.
people are like, don't download TikTok.
Mm-mm.
They're taking your data. I'm
Yeah,
like, yeah,
right.
so is Facebook and Instagram and
Everybody,
Twitter
everybody else is.
and your phone alone.
Yeah, Alara was bitching to me the other day, like you made me get a smartphone. Da 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 da. Now I'm like, Alara, man, listen, it doesn't even matter at this point. Like there's no
Right,
hiding from it, right?
right. They're tracking your DNA at this point,
Like there's
literally.
no
Like I'm no,
hiding
I'm
from it,
serious. I'm
right?
serious.
No,
Yeah,
seriously. Yeah, I'm with
there's
you.
yeah, they have a way to like track your DNA apparently because people were complaining about these jabs putting like a trackers in your body so they can track you via satellite. And then this guy came out like this whistleblower and said actually they already have the ability to do that without the need for this jab.
Man,
Uh, anyway, yeah.
it's,
So
it's
go ahead, ask your next
all
question.
the evil elites, man. They're at us every which way. Every which way till Sunday, man. For sure. Um, all right, let me see. What do I got crazy here? Uh, all right. Let's talk about Whole Foods for a minute because I get on our buddy over here about Whole Foods all the time. Who bought Whole Foods on August 28th of 2017 for $13.7 billion, turning it into a GMO and fake meat powerhouse, right?
That would be Mr. Hole.
Was it A, Bill Gates, B, Elon Musk, C, Jeff Bezos, or D, Peter Thiel?
Oh
Um,
man, you just named them all.
right? I'm going to read it
Peter
again.
Thiel.
Right?
I don't know.
Right? Right? Who bought Whole Foods? So for all of you guys that want to go spend $500 on 2 bags of groceries at Whole Foods, okay? Who bought Whole Foods on August 28th of 2017 for $13.7 billion, turning it into a GMO and fake meat powerhouse? A, Bill Gates, B, Elon Musk, C, Jeff Bezos, or D, Peter Thiel?
I'm gonna go with Bezos, but it's funny. It's funny you threw Teal in there, unless he's the actual one. I don't know. What's the answer?
Let's see, what were these guys? Let's see,
We
seeing
got
Gates, Bezos,
C
right?
A. Yeah,
Bill Gates only bought all the farmland. Not exactly true, frightening me. The answer is Jeff Bezos, of course, right? So just so you know, Amazon now owns Whole Foods, right? Because whatever, Jeff Bezos. So now we're in. Now here's something. In 2013, before this purchase, people were freaking out about Whole Foods Market and they're not labeling their products GMO or non-GMO or whatever, right? They didn't want to label anything. So they promised in 2013 that they would by the end of the year require all of its suppliers to label GMO ingredients in foods by the end of 2018, right? 2018 comes, they renege on the commitment after the purchase by Bezos. Now they refuse to label their products, you know, clear any of their GMO products, they refuse to label it. Now, obviously, there was no press release about this. The media didn't talk about it because the media had been hyping up Whole Foods for years in all their publications about what a great freaking place it is, to go buy organic food, this and that and the other, right? So in the email, Whole Foods Chief of Operation AC Gallo claimed the company, now owned by Amazon, was merely pausing the plan until the USDA finalized the labeling requirements, right? Uh, and when they passed this law, the law has no teeth. Like they still have not done this.
Does any law have any teeth?
It, man, right?
You do way too much research on your questions. It's intimidating.
Don't no. Hey, man, we got to get this information out there. This shit is
I
shady,
know.
right?
I know.
So, I do you shop at Whole Foods, Tyler?
No, never. Actually, unless I'm
Good for
out
you.
of town and it's close by. Yeah.
They have a company that they carry a ton of their products there called Just. All right. So, in 2013, Bill Gates and Peter Thiel backed Hampton Creek Foods, which is now known as Just, right? They rolled out all kinds of eggless products. Um, so there is a tie between Bill Gates and Peter Thiel, right? And we're talking about more than just Beyond Eggs and their Just Mayo and all this stuff. Just also makes lab grown meat that they sell not only at the Whole Foods but at Walmart. And Bill Gates funds, you guys know, and I've done Twitter threads on this so many times. Bill Gates funds Beyond Meat, several other fake meat companies, and they have been pushing them not just to Whole Foods, obviously, Walmart, Safeways, all of these. Like it's the shit
Probably
is now sold in over 5,000 stores.
Probably restaurants too. I'm sure they're gonna get into the restaurant industry, no doubt.
Man,
Somebody said, what did they say? Cedarbug said, where was it at? Or gravity still has teeth because it said I said no laws have teeth, and she
there you
said
go.
gravity.
But
You know, I saw a theory online the other day. It said the reason pyramids the reason we'll never understand how the pyramids were built is because I forgot how it was worded, but basically they said gravity wasn't invented until the 1800s. So clearly they were able to build the pyramids
right, obviously
before
there
there
was
was
no
gravity.
no gravity
Yeah.
until the pyramids were invented, right?
Yeah.
Right.
No, they said so they built the pyramids when there was no gravity.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Makes perfect
I'm like,
sense. Right? Makes perfect sense to me.
right. So
Uh
how'd they get him to stay? Yeah.
right, yeah, F Bill Gates. That's right. Blonde
No, but
BLT.
that's crazy. I don't trust any of the food at all anymore. Like basically if you're not growing your own shit, like and even the
Dude,
seeds you buy are poison, the Monsanto seeds.
absolutely.
They're coming at us from all angles. So
Yeah.
uh
And they're trying, like, man, the attack on the food chain is real. Like, have you guys started to see? Matter of fact, in South Carolina the other day, they found in a wild goose or something avian flu, right? Now, in England, they are massacring birds, like people that have their own poultry and they're making them kill all their chickens in the coops and everything because they're of the spread of this avian flu, right? This is the next thing. Like,
yeah,
and there
I
was
heard
a
some
case where a person caught it,
right.
allegedly.
Yeah, I heard like somebody was trying to say that they were giving all the animals and livestock chicken the COVID jab. So whatever we eat, we're still getting the effects of that. I don't know. It's a
Well,
theory,
like,
right?
okay, like dogs have had, dogs have been getting COVID jab for a long time. I know my brother breeds dogs and he has to give them all this was way before the current shenanigans. Like an animal version of the coronavirus vaccine has been available for a while.
All right. You ready for the next question?
Bring it.
Nobody is going to know this one. It's such a detail, but it's an interesting story.
There you go.
On Friday the 13th of all days, I don't know why. On Friday, August 13th, 1993, in Las Vegas, during a lecture at a UFO conference, one of the presenters, I don't know his name, I couldn't find his name. One of the presenters came forward with what he claims were complete floor plans from two separate levels of which underground facility that was still only rumored to exist. Did you get that or did I need to read it again?
Say it one more time.
On Friday, August 13th, 1993, in Las Vegas, Nevada, during a lecture at a UFO conference, one of the presenters came forward with what he claims were complete floor plans from two separate levels of which underground facility that was still only rumored to exist. A. Area 51, B. Dulce, C. Pine Gap, D. Cheyenne Mountain.
I want to say Dulce, but it's probably Area 51.
So we got S4, Dulce, B, another Dulce. We got um
Birds are
Area
not real,
51, Area
guys.
51,
Don't buy the
C.
hype.
Yeah, that's okay. That's a conspiracy theory. Golden Crisp says Pine Gap. The answer is
Right?
B, Dulce, New Mexico. Guys, come on! I got a giant textbook on Dulce. If you haven't
I
figured
know,
out,
right? Like all your
anytime
questions.
it anytime I talk about underground base. So what happened was the guy who had these floor plans. There was a group of people who were handed these floor plans to because there was a lot of abductions, and a lot of the people that were being abducted were taken to Dulce for like genetic experiments and hybrid experiments and whatever else, and they would bring them back home. Like they would literally, this would be like one night abductions, and there were all these people coming forward claiming to be abducted and taken to this place. Well, they gave these people the floor plans with images, visuals, and everything. So they would know if there was a fake abductee or not, because a lot of people were like saying they were being, you know how it is, people just lie and make up stories.
Right.
So they were vetting the abductees. They wanted to know who had actually been, who remembered what, and who was a fraud. So and then that's why this guy claimed he had these floor plans, and it's there's a whole theory, you know. Apparently, it looks like it's a central hub and it looks like a pentagon from above, and
Imagine that.
there's all these hallways coming out of the central hub, and it explains it all in detail what it looks like, but it's basically a pentagon underground for like 40 levels.
Like the idea of Dulce itself just mildly terrifies me. Almost as
Right.
bad as that beehive I showed you earlier. It's just one of those mildly terrifying
Yeah.
things that
Right.
creeps
So
me out.
so it's interesting though, like think about that. So they have the floor plan, so they know, they're trying to figure out who was faking, you know, who was lying or not, basically, about being abducted and taken there. Because they would
Man,
know, like if they described something that, well, maybe they were abducted but they were taken somewhere else, but they wanted to know which people were actually being taken to Dulce. And that's why this group of guys had these floor plans, and they were looking for abductees, trying to figure out which ones were being taken to
I
Dulce.
never want to go to Dulce. Alara said you are a hybrid experiment, Pyler.
I probably, we all are, according
Right?
to Marina on our last night's episode.
Oh, it's funny that you had her on there. Like I literally had just caught a video where somebody that was on it popped up randomly on my YouTube, and I had watched it the other day, and then you guys had her on what, last night?
Mm-hmm.
Was that last
Well,
night?
that's when it aired, yeah, last night.
Thanks, Blonde BLQ, for the phone. Much love. I appreciate the gold pills and donations, guys. It helps to keep the lights on. I appreciate it. Yeah, Alara, go to bed. I hope you heard my spiel about Whole Foods. Speaking of which, since we're talking about the food supply, um, oh, Patriot Core said reptilians there in Dulce.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would.
right. They reptilians, greys, and plenty of other stuff. A lot of that's where the Nightmare Hall comes from.
Yeah, the
Like a lot
shady
of
aliens are all in
like
Dulce.
mutants, basically genetic experiments. Yeah, and some of them were so crazy. Apparently, they had to, like, they had no control of them. They had to keep them locked up in cages and
Weren't they growing people for food there?
growing. Yeah,
Like
well,
growing.
I don't know if they probably were, but they were definitely trying to find a substitute for human blood.
Oh,
They were,
that's what it was.
yeah, they were human, or they were experimenting on that,
That's what it was. Yeah, it's just
which was
freaking
successful.
terrifying,
Who knows?
right? Okay. Where was I at? Speaking of the food supply, and again from the news, and this is also mildly terrifying to me. All right, China, China has been hoarding what percentage of the world's grain? Is it A 20%, B 25%, C 50%, or D 75%?
1,000,000%.
1,000,000%. It's the greatest percent ever.
Yeah,
Thanks, Just Jules, for the can. Much love to you.
I have no idea.
It's the
I mean,
biggest percent, man. It's the biggest.
well,
It's going to be the most
well,
biggest, most beautiful percent.
there's no percent like you've ever
It's
seen
a percent
before.
like you've never seen before.
All right. What are the answers again?
Is it 20%, 25%, 50%, or 75%?
75.
The biggest percent. It's actually it's 50%, but But think about this. Less than 20% of the world's population has managed to stockpile more than half of the entire world's maize and other grain, right? We talk about inflation, like price increases and stuff. It certainly doesn't help that China is buying up every possible thing that they can, and not just the grain either. So, Kofco Group, which is a Chinese, like a state-owned food processor, runs one of China's largest food stockpiling bases in Dalian, right? It's in the northeastern part of the country. They've got like 310 big ass silos there. And they're supposed to be using it to keep up with, the eating habits of the population, but they've got everybody locked down. These people can't even go to the store right now. This has all happened over the past year. They've
Mhm.
just massively been. I wonder why, right? They have their stockpiles at what they're a historically high level, right? Um, Saying that they've got enough wheat that they could meet demand for the entire country for a year and a half. They have no food supply problems. But China is expected to have 70% of the globe's grain reserves in the first half of crop year 2022, 60% of its rice and 51% of its wheat this
Right.
year. And then over the past 5 years, they have also been buying their meat purchases from other countries because a lot of people don't realize this. This is something else I bitch about on Twitter all the time. We are importing beef from Brazil and pork and shit from Brazil because our stuff all goes to China,
Right.
right? They
Well,
have
it's,
increased their imports of our meat fivefold in the past year.
yeah, it's like the peaches get picked in Argentina, they get packaged in Thailand and sold in the United States.
It's
It's
crazy.
they really do that with the peaches. Um,
It's
and
crazy.
all of it, like fish. They catch fish in the United States, they send it to China to be
For
packaged,
processing, right?
processing,
And then,
and then it's sent back. Like it's the most insane thing possible.
like,
Speaking of inflation, Dollar Tree is now $1.25 officially.
yeah, yeah, it's about to be $1.50 tree, right?
Right,
Tree fitty
right.
tree.
They
Oh,
and they're
it's
it's a
crazy.
dollar 25, but now they have two for 250 sales. So
Oh, well, thank God for that. You know, but I mean, imagine
yeah,
this, right? Right now, China, even though we've got some countries that are opening up, like we saw England and Scotland release all their mandates, like things seem to be getting a little bit better. What are we seeing here? Bare shelves, right? All over the place.
yeah,
China's got all of our grain, they're buying all of our meat, and they're not letting ships leave port over there. Right? So there's we're shipping the stuff over there and then they're not even sending containers back with anything. Shit isn't leaving the ports.
right,
Like I wonder why they would be doing that.
yeah.
I can't imagine why they would be doing that.
And it's so funny the whole concept of like having borders and blah 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 and like keeping people out, but we send our stuff everywhere else to get processed. It's a big game. It's all fake. It's all an
It's
illusion.
fake
My
news.
turn.
It's fake
My
news, man.
turn. Fake news. All
Fake
right.
news. The news is fake.
Here's a fun one. Excuse me. What is the name of the conspiracy theory that states everything is a conspiracy, including the conspiracies themselves?
Ooh.
A, the
Sounds like my
proverbial
kind of
rabbit hole.
conspiracy theory. Sorry, go ahead.
Let me get a drink real quick.
There you go.
I'll read it again. What is the name of a conspiracy theory that states everything is a conspiracy, including the conspiracies themselves? A, the proverbial rabbit hole theory. B, the consensus reality theory. C, the illusions are illusions theory. D, the grand unified conspiracy theory.
We need a grand unified conspiracy theory. I have no idea, but I like that. It's probably A, but I'm going to go with D.
I'll read them one more time. A, the proverbial rabbit hole theory. B, the consensus reality theory. C, the illusions are illusions theory. D, the grand unified conspiracy theory.
Grand unified. That sounds like something we should dedicate our lives to creating, Tyler. The grand unified conspiracy theory.
So we have B, D, C, D, D. Sounds like a Sega Genesis code.
Right?
Um, the answer is D, the Grand Unified Conspiracy
Cool.
Theory. Yeah.
Yay! So tell me about
I
that. Do we
mean,
have more information on that? Do we have a diagram? I need diagrams.
yeah, there actually is a diagram with
Oh,
it. I don't have it though. I didn't save
I
it.
need that. Right.
Um, but yeah, so it's just, I mean, there's not a whole lot to it. It's just literally like everything is a conspiracy theory. Like it's just,
Even the conspiracy theories are conspiracy
yeah,
theories, right? I wonder how that
yeah.
works,
It,
right?
it's never ending. It's like you because that would mean my phone is a conspiracy theory.
It is. And speak,
Right.
I see people arguing about birds. Birds, listen, guys. Whoever it was that said they have a crow, birds are government drones, man. They're spies. Okay, in case nobody told you, this is for
Right.
real.
If they're even real in the first place.
Right. They are government spies, man. Wait,
Fearless said D sounds the coolest. Yeah, the
yeah,
Grand Unified
Grand
Conspiracy
Unify. Yeah,
Theory.
I need that in my life.
Yeah.
I need a T-shirt that
I
says
don't have
that.
a bunch of literature ready for my questions like you do, so I
Sorry.
just gotta wing it.
Winging it, man. We do need a t-shirt. Grand
Russian
Unified Conspiracy Theory with the diagram on the t-shirt, I think. That'd be great.
Monosoul Essence says the birds are Russian spies.
Russian spy. That's possible.
Right.
Um
Vladimir Pigeon.
he's a gangster, man. I'm sorry. Like, can we just talk for a second about the minor incursion? The minor incursion statement by Chiden the other day, like about
Yeah.
Ukraine. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
That whole thing is a false flag in itself, I feel
I
like.
saw you say that his stuff was the false flag. Like, I don't know.
Like that's how they create a narrative. And then they just do that and there's a ripple effect and like people just take the wheel after that.
Now,
And then we're on the other side of the world and we can't prove shit for shit. We have no idea. And we get the footage of videos sometimes, but we can't tell if they're real, they're being debunked. They know that. It's all part of the game.
I mean, Putin is a gangster though, dude.
Or he is.
He is yoked countries before. Just gone in like I'm taking this shit, right?
Right. I
Like
mean, it could be real. I mean, I don't
I
know.
don't
Yeah.
put it past him, right? And he's right when he says I can deploy troops in my country whenever wherever I want. Like he could just be screwing with people. What makes me think, I mean, he literally is like putting all his troops there and he's like the only thing I want you to do is promise that Ukraine will never be a member of NATO. Right? Like he's literally trying to bully Biden into agreeing to some shit, which I can totally see. Maybe he's not gonna attack, but
Well,
I
there's
think he might come through Belarus, or there'll be something with Belarus where he creates this calamity. I don't know.
Well, there's also the common theme that the way the headlines frame it as a Russia's the enemy again. Like
Always Russia, Russia,
so
Russia.
that to me is the red flag. I'm like, no, like there's why are they constantly framing Russia as the enemy? Like what is going on? Whatever Russia has, they have the key to overturn the deep state or something like that. There's a reason they've been trying to make them the enemy the whole time.
Well,
Or
Putin definitely don't like to. I mean, yes, the dude is out for himself, but he's out like Putin should be Russia first, just like we should be U.S.
right.
first, and
No, I
freaking
get it.
China should
I
be
like
China
Putin.
first. Like you can't
I
even
like
really
him.
get mad. Like
Right. No, I like the dude. I think he's
yeah,
funny.
I see a lot of people in the comments saying the same thing. Like yeah,
Yeah.
Putin is pretty freaking funny. Like he will talk some shit, boy, on camera too. Like oh
Is it
well.
your turn or my turn now? I
Uh
forgot.
oh no, I think it's my turn.
Yeah.
Um, all right. Here, we'll do an old school conspiracy theory here. Tiffany said the soccer ball, right? What makes conspiracists believe that Gary Webb, the journalist who exposed illegal CIA activity, was murdered rather than committed suicide? Is it A,
He
they
shot he had two bullet holes in his head.
supposed to let me read the answers first, Tylena?
Okay.
Was it A, they never found the body? B, he was cremated before an autopsy could be performed? C, he had two bullet holes in his head? Or D, he had a vacation booked for the following week?
I'm gonna
Right.
sit this one out.
Right. Clearly you're going with C. Right.
That's funny.
Right. Well, I mean, this was, like everybody tried to say it was a conspiracy theory that the CIA was selling crack in the hood. Right.
Yeah,
Listen, I believe that. Everybody I know believe that.
bro,
Like,
100% they were. Yeah,
right. And yes, guys, yeah, it was obviously two bullet holes in the head, right? This dude was found dead in his home. This was in like 2004 with two gunshot wounds to the head. His death was ruled a suicide by the Sacramento County Coroner's Office. According
yeah,
to them, somehow he managed to shoot himself twice with a 38 revolver near his right ear.
yeah. Twice.
Explain that to me, right? Somebody explain that to me, right? It wasn't even like it was a little, like, I mean, a 38, you pull the trigger twice. How does that even happen?
It's not
That's not.
even worth discussing. He was killed.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
obviously murdered, right? And
yeah.
and
You don't. Yeah.
we're talking about Gary Webb, Suitor. For those of you guys that don't know, he worked for the San Jose Mercury News, and he had published like a big ass three-part investigation. It was called The Dark Alliance: The Story Behind the Crack Explosion. Okay, and he
Hmm.
reported that in addition to waging a proxy war for the US, that for the US government against Nicaragua's Sandinista government in the 80s, that elements of the CIA had backed Contra rebels, that they were also involved in trafficking coke to the US. And to
Hmm.
fund the Contras, and this is where we get into what was going on in freaking Arkansas, like all of that coke coming in, whatever. They were funding Contras. The secret flow of drugs and money, Webb had reported, had a link to the explosion of crack cocaine, in the hood. But that was a huge conspiracy theory that nobody was supposed to believe, right? That the CIA was selling crack in the hood. Like, come on, man.
Well, there was the fires in California. I read an article. I don't remember. It's like FBI headquarters or an FBI building or CIA. I think it was FBI that burned down. And during the fire, it exposed one of the drug labs in the basement of the FBI headquarters. Where there was all this meth and cocaine, all this stuff. So I read this article and I just kind of like, oh wow, that's not surprising at all. And I just skimmed past it. And then I remember I went to go back to try and tell somebody about it. I couldn't find it anywhere
Imagine that.
or any other articles related. And I just kicked myself for not saving it. Uh, but yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. And then it made me think, well, was this like an alliance effort, a white hat effort, that fire in that particular area to expose this? But it didn't work apparently.
Just didn't work out,
I mean, obviously we're still here,
right?
freaking whatever.
All right.
All right.
Bring it.
What is the name of the group that is dedicated to the belief that most, if not all, public figures are secretly transgender,
Ooh.
having been born the opposite gender to which they now claim to be? A, the Transvestigation community. B, the public disfigure community. C, the transphobic panic group. Or D, the celebrity he she club.
I like the word transvestigation. I'm going with that. That's
A, Boyle says A. What is the name of the group that is dedicated to the belief that most, if not all, public figures are secretly transgender, having been born the opposite gender to which they now claim to be? A, the transvestigation community. B, the public disfigure community. C, the transphobic panic group. D, the celebrity he she club.
the he she. I like that too. Thanks, Amy Joe, for the can. Much love to you. Glad to see you here. The he she
So
club. I like
we got
transvestigation. That's a great word.
we got D, A, Night Suitor Bug, A or D,
Night suitor.
A. Good night. D is the funniest. Well, guess what? D is one of the made up answers. The answer is A, the
Yay!
Transvestigation Club. It's a real club. You can look it up.
Oh
These
Lord.
people believe they have like comparison, side by side comparison photos, and like everything's circled and everything. They're like comparing jaw lines and noses and
Oh
everything.
Lord.
like with everybody, even Trump. Like they think Trump used to be a girl. Like
Oh,
it's
he would be the
insane.
ugliest chick.
Right.
That would be a sin,
Uh,
man.
they think
Uh,
everybody used to be the opposite sex
well,
and
I don't
some
know
big,
about everybody, but they're like just
definitely a
Jacinda
lot.
Ardern or Jacinda Ardern in New Zealand, like that chick was a dude. I'm convinced.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah.
you know, Michelle, Michael, that chick was a dude. Who else? Like there's some I come on, not all now. We can't go with
Right.
all, but maybe a lot.
Lady Gaga for sure.
Oh yeah, it's kind of weird. Uh, Transvestigation. I know that's great. That's
Well,
pretty great.
either, yeah, I don't know.
Who else? Who else can we think of? Big names
Oh,
that.
um, any of the what's that health expert's name? Uh, Bill Gates' wife.
Oh yeah, 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 for
Well,
sure.
Bill,
Melinda,
yeah,
Melinda,
Melinda.
yeah,
But then
for sure that.
the health expert that looks like a
Oh, the
monster.
one that's in the cabinet now. Well, that is obvious. Like that one, we
Oh,
know.
I
Like
guess.
they admitted to that.
Mm. Yeah, I know, but it's just
Yeah, there are.
man,
Yeah, I mean it's a thing
I
for sure. It's a thing. Um,
can't talk tonight.
are you getting all choked up?
Yeah, I got a frog in my throat that's not hopping away.
Oh, you got a Pepe the Frog in your throat. Um, all right. I got a creepy one. So it's kind of creepy. It's creepy to me, mildly terrifying, I would say. HR, so so House Resolution 6666 was introduced by Illinois Representative Bobby Rush to do what? So HR 6666 was introduced by Illinois Rep Bobby Rush to do what? Was it A, microchip the US population? B, mine body activity to verify users for crypto exchanges. C, contact trace for COVID. Or D, mass produce RFID/NFC syringes.
Probably all of them are happening, but I'm gonna go with A.
Microchip the US population, says Tylena. What do you
Right, but
guys think?
the crypto one sounds fancy, but it sounds like that was something you'd make up.
Hmm? Is it though?
Carrie Fisher, somebody said Carrie Fisher was a guy. I've heard that.
Camilla, maybe.
I've heard who is it?
Fauci's wife.
Keystone thinks that Jennifer Aniston needs to be a guy. I don't
I don't know about Jennifer Aniston.
know.
Well, capable. How else am I supposed to tell you what bill it is if I don't say the numbers? I don't have a choice. Um, so it is actually C, contact tracing for COVID. But,
Oh, who got it right? Mana, Tiny
but,
knee.
right? So it's called the Trace Act, and it was introduced by Bobby Rush for $100 billion grant to NGOs, non-governmental organizations, to carry out contact tracing throughout the U.S. And this is just months after attending the Aspen Institute's conference in Africa, which was paid for by my favorite person to hate, Bill Gates, of course, the Rockefellers, and the Democracy Fund. Okay? Now, there's more to this. There is a patent that was filed by Microsoft, W0202000060606, right?
Hmm.
That was a patent to develop this cryptocurrency system using body activity data. So that wasn't something I made up. That's actually a real thing, where AI, artificial intelligence, would mine your body activity to verify you for cryptocurrency exchanges, right? Um, when between that and the Trace Act, with all those sixes, like it just feels like a synchronicity to me. I don't know, you know.
Right. No.
But what's weird about the Trace Act is that so this Bobby Rush guy and 44 of his Democrat friends and one Republican from New Jersey wanted this $100 billion grant, to hire and train and pay individuals to run mobile testing units and do the door to door. This is where the branch COVIDians came in, right? To do this door to door outreach, as well as monitor and quarantine people. And we know what's been going on in Washington State recently, right? With the Can I even
The
say the C
camps,
word, right?
the camps. Yeah,
Right,
it's insane. So they
with the
voted on it
camps.
already. What happened?
I
I don't
don't
even know.
well, I don't know. I haven't seen that actually. Did they vote? Do you
Yeah, they
guys
on the
know anybody in
12th, they
Washington
were
state?
supposed to vote on the they were supposed to vote on the 12th, I thought, but I could be wrong. Somebody correct me.
If anybody lives in Washington state knows if they have voted on that yet, let me know. But so
Yeah.
13 days after Rush introduced this Trace Act, Nancy Pelosi snuck it into the coronavirus relief package and ended up getting it sent through that way. That's crazy.
Right.
Imagine that.
Snuck it right on in there, just like everything else.
Right?
All right, let's have a debate real quick.
Much love capable.
The lights, the footage of the White House that people are trying to say that it's being demoed because they're seeing the flashes inside the lighthouse. The White House, did you see that?
No, wait. People are trying to say that the White House is being demolished.
From the yeah, so they saw like there was
Come on, man.
um so there's a footage and then there's these like it looks like a sequence of light of flashes. It happens in one window, then the next window, then the next window, then the next window. And then there's these birds that are flying by at night, and people are saying the birds are being scared off from the explosions. For one, I don't know what it looks like, but then you have other people are trying to claim that, oh man, they're demoing the White House, you know how conspiracy theorists run with it.
Right?
But then other people are trying to say, oh, those are headlight reflections, which they're definitely not, I don't think. But then what does Jordan say there was saying that he thinks it's like emergency light vehicle reflections. I thought you had seen it, so I thought we
No,
could
no,
discuss it.
I
But
haven't. But now I'm determined to look into that. What up, Golden Crisp? Good to see you.
all right.
Uh,
Anyway,
yeah.
I don't know. To
Now,
me, the jury's still out.
come on. They're
If they were
not
going to demo the
them.
White
They're
House, they wouldn't be
not.
using charges.
Yeah, they're not taking down. They're not demolishing the White House, guys. Like I don't
I
even
mean,
need
they
to
are
see.
building the wall around it. That's for a fact. But
Well, and not that I believe this, but when I was working the other day, that came up. And what I'm supposed to co-sign is that they had put up this wall to do fountain repair. Just so you know what the official story is, guys. They're putting up
right,
this wall so they can do fountain repair. Like what do you need? What do you need a wall to repair a fountain for? I'm just curious.
you don't.
How's that work? Right?
Yeah,
Like it's sometimes the shit that they want me is just the dumbest shit, dude. Just the
yeah. It's all narrative. But I
man.
don't. Here's the thing: if they're gonna demo walls inside of the White House, they're not gonna use explosives. It just doesn't make any sense. I've been in construction. You're not gonna.
No.
You never unless you're yeah. So definitely, whatever the flashes were, they could be anything. Who knows? But
Yeah,
next
they could be in there
question.
with I believe they're in there having a with a disco ball hanging up before I believe they were in there using explosive charges on walls in the White House. Come on, man.
Yeah. But next question.
Okay.
Is this my last one? It is. Okay. This is a fun one. A good one to end on. After discovering a NASA rover photo, a UFO blogger shared that he'd found a perfect likeness of Trump on the surface of Mars.
Ooh.
He theorized this may mean that Trump is a what? A, time traveler. B, alien. C, clone. D, badass.
Badass. Right? But probably also time
So,
traveler. I thought I had seen something about Trump on Mars at some
right. So
point.
after discovering a NASA rover photo, a UFO blogger shared that he had found a perfect likeness of Trump on the surface of Mars, which I see. I saw the photo and it looks like a side view profile. He theorized that this may mean that Trump is a what? Time traveler, alien, clone, or badass?
Yeah, I'm seeing A's rolling in. Right?
A.
Thanks,
The
Wonder Mod.
the answer is well, I understand why people are saying A, but the answer is actually
Ooh.
B, according to this guy, alien. He
Well, I
said,
mean,
I don't. It's crazy
seems
because it's
legit.
just a rock. It's a rock that looks like Trump. But this guy legitimately like came up with this whole theory, and he thinks that if Trump was an alien, It would explain his magical power in his voice that causes mass hysteria and loyalty. Like, I don't know.
Well,
He
Hitler
thinks that
also had
somehow,
a voice that caused mass hysteria and loyalty. Are we going with Hitler
right?
was an alien? He could be. He could have
Could
been.
be.
Could be. That's going to be
There's
my
some
new
D's.
conspiracy theory,
There's some D's that he was a
right?
badass. But
Badass.
it's not out of the realm of possibility for me that Trump and the Trumps are somehow time travelers.
Man, listen, after the
Or
whole Ingersoll Lockwood thing, oh, thanks, Suiterbug,
right,
for the super chat. Much love to you. Yeah, after the Ingersoll Lockwood thing, I don't think we can discount the possibility that Trump is a time traveler. I'm just
right.
saying.
Yeah, well, our episode with Brad Gates, Getz, whatever Gates. It was great. No, it was
Oh,
awesome.
Colodro? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the looking glass stuff.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
With Looking Glass, and we went into all that stuff, Ingersoll Lockwood, and there's like, at some point, I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird. This isn't a coincidence
No, there's
anymore.
too many. There's too
hmm
many things that line up for you to just
And
dismiss it out of hand. Like,
and
it's
I
wild.
firmly believe there's time travel programs, and all that, all of it's possible. And there's no doubt that on some level, on some way, like the whole operation of Q, real or not, psyop or not, they never could have pulled it off unless they had some type of foresight. Because otherwise, it
Something.
might as well have just been a guy. It might as well have just been a guy in his basement. Um, he's a time traveling Martian badass. That's probably the most likely answer.
Right? Clearly. Obviously. Obviously.
Um,
Let me see. Let me go
and
over here.
probably there's a lot of channelers that say that every time you've seen Trump in public, it's one of his clones, and the real Trump
Oh,
is
who?
like
Oh,
being
oh, oh, that was something else that came up while I was working. That the Trump that spoke in Arizona was a body double or a clone. Definitely not
right,
the original. I'm like, come on,
right.
man. Like,
Yeah, I've
no,
heard there's been like
that was him.
I've heard there's like 25 assassination attempts on him, and uh,
Well, I mean, there
uh
probably have been some attempts. Of all the presidents that people have been mad enough to try that shenanigans, he's
yeah.
probably at the top of the list, man. Like, I believe there have been some attempts.
Oh, absolutely. Well, John D'Souza, which I think he's kind of taken the bait on some of this clickbait lately. Unfortunately, sorry, John, I love you, but um, when we first had him on, he said because he still had connections or whatever, and he knew for a fact of three separate occasions where they he had seen with his own eyes evidence that Trump was there were assassination attempts,
Oh, I believe it.
and he said on all three separate occasions literally something miraculous happened, like there was almost like an ET or an angelic presence protecting him. He said there was like things that weren't possible like were happening to protect him from
Well, I
certain
had
death.
somebody. Thank you, Life of Brian, for the shades. Much love to you. I had, and this was. Do you guys remember? It was been a while now when they rushed him to Walter Reed, and then they tried to say it was just a standard medical, like it was just they were just doing a standard physical or whatever, but it
Mhm.
wasn't on his schedule. It was a whole big hullabaloo. I At the time I had my Twitter account was still pretty big, and I had somebody that was talking to me that was there and swore up and down that that was an attempt, that it was a poisoning attempt, and that's why they had rushed him to Walter Reed. I don't know if that's true
Right.
or not. I'm just saying that's what I was told. I believe that there have been attempts for sure.
Right. Yeah. But the whole clone thing, yeah. What was I listening to? They said every time you've ever seen Trump publicly in person was a clone. Now that we would see the real Trump on camera, like talking to people like from the White House or wherever. And anytime you saw him signing something, they said if a clone signs something, it's null and void. It doesn't matter. The original body has to sign a clone or has to sign the document. That's why I say everything that Biden signed is just bullshit anyway.
Man, all them
But and
damn
so they said that
EOs.
the real Trump is housed in Camp David and was affiliated with the Q team. This has all come from I forget what channel where I was listening to, but I thought it's just interesting. And they said that the reason that Trump has like uh, different seems like he's like different personalities sometimes. I guess sometimes he can be like very
Yeah,
snappy
I
and
was just
mean.
gonna bring this up. Go
They
ahead.
said that they said that the way it works with a clone is the clone has different entities like fighting over it and different conscious
Oh,
like yeah. So they said like it could be literally like a reptilian consciousness in there sometimes, and then it could be like a Pleiadian consciousness. Like in a clone, it's like a gamble all the time.
Well, I saw a conspiracy theory about there being several different Trumps, and they would differentiate which one by his tie color, right? Like you got the Trump that wears the red tie, and that's the guy that goes out and talks all the shit. Then you got the Trump that wears the blue tie, and he's like, the down to business, like straightforward Trump.
Mhm.
And then I think there's another Trump that supposedly wears a gold tie, and I don't remember what his role in all of this was, but apparently, depending on the color of his tie, according to this conspiracy theory, that's how you determine, you
Really,
know,
I hadn't
which
heard the
Trump you
tie
got.
thing.
Yes. Yeah, it's a
Right.
whole thing. It was a
The
whole
clone
thing.
thing, the clone thing wouldn't surprise me in some cases if they were, whatever, protecting them. And we wouldn't know. A clone apparently is just another human, and
Who
I don't know.
knows, man? That's why we do conspiracy theory trivia to rampantly speculate about these things that we do not know. Let me go over here and give these gold pills to the Foxhole fam real quick. I don't even
By the
know.
way, I'm not claiming any of that is true.
Right. We are
People are gonna
speculating.
be
Yeah, it's a
like,
whole thing.
people are
Oh,
gonna be like, Tyler thinks this and that and this and that.
yeah.
Oh man, no sauce.
Right. No. We're just speculating. Okay, the scratching has been released, allegedly. I'm going to try and click on DLive, although sometimes DLive knocks my system out. Wait a minute. Let me see.
Don't knock us out before we
Oh, yeah, okay.
go
All
out.
right. DLive, we love you. I don't know if I have any lemons over there or not, but I will try to not knock this stream off again today since we had such good luck earlier. Let me see.
All
Do you
right.
want to do one more or should we wra-
What
wrap
time
this
is
up?
it? I'm
9:47. You hungry?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, let's wrap it up. If
All
that's
right.
cool with
Guys,
you.
Space Force News will be back on the 30th. Make sure you're there. That's on 1 Foot in 5D. Um, I don't suppose you have anything that's not super secret, top classified, above top secret shit you want to disclose today about what you got going on your channel.
No, I have an NDA I signed. I
Of
can't talk.
course, of course, of course. Well, what we
uh,
can talk about is your secret space conference that's coming up, right?
right. Yeah, we
Right?
can.
We can
Guys,
talk about
come. I
that.
know. I know some of the people in the chat have already bought tickets.
Ooh,
Um, yeah, come hang out. It's gonna be so much fun. I am like, I'm kind of getting nervous because we never put on a
aw,
conference before. So
it's gonna be great.
it's a lot though. There is like so much that goes, so many things that you don't
I
think
bet.
about until it starts getting closer. I'm like, okay, I really need to like sit down and figure all this out. But it's gonna all manifest beautifully. I know it, and it's gonna be great. And
It's gonna
grab
be
a ticket if
great.
you want. Secretspaceconference.info. All the information is there. Um, I just can't wait. It's going to be awesome to hear from all these speakers and build a case for the secret space program. That's getting people are making a mockery of it right now, and I really think there's something to it. I truly believe there is something going on that we don't know about, and this is a passion project, and I want to disclose it. I really feel like we can shed some light on this, and it's only going to help people. And it's going to trigger memories and whatever it may do. But if nothing else, it's going to get everybody together so we can just hang out and see each other in person.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll be great. It'll be
Half
great.
these people online, I don't even know if they have legs, if they're in wheelchairs. Like,
We
I don't
want to
know what.
know.
Yeah.
We want to know. Right?
Yeah.
You want to show your promo or?
If you want to close out with it, you can.
All right,
It's
guys.
up to you.
Yeah, check this out.
He said, listen, give me 2 years. You'll never want to come back. You'll have the adventure of a lifetime, and nobody will know you're gone.
You get deployed at 17 and a half. And now I was deployed from the New York Athletic Club. And we got actually deployed right out of the locker room from, you get beamed up to the ship and then the ship takes off and you're gone for 20 years.
It's a very hard pill to swallow, but that's exactly how I experienced it. I was taken at 10 years old. I was taken and I was worked through several black programs. I was privately owned in the beginning. I did six or 7 years on Earth.
That's when all the stuff for the programs began for me. Specifically, the tracking that they had been doing since I was a kid, it followed me all the way through the military. And at that point, when I got to Diego Garcia, that's where I was taken off planet.
Kind of like opened that floodgate for me. And then all of these recalls started coming in, and I was just like, oh my gosh. And the way I was describing it, she's like, I've never had this with a client, but you're describing a parallel life right now.
It's a combination of human and other species. I was able to remember the name on their uniform. It's USS Arcorp. That was putting me through some kind of recruitment tests from age 3 until 12. And 12 is when I was potentially, taken.
He said, with your scores, I guarantee you'll make commander and you'll make pilot. And I said, pilot of what? And he said, 4-kilometer-long starship. He told me what was going to happen. He says, you volunteer for the program, we'll put you in, you'll do 20 years, we'll send you back in time 20 years, age regress you 20 years, wipe your memory, and you'll just wake up in bed like nothing happened.
It's almost beyond words. It's beyond comprehension of how this could happen. Whoever's masterminding this, the Air Force, working with extraterrestrials, working with a lot of pretty wild technology, which I'll also get into. It's really beyond fathomable. It's beyond fathomable.
You could stop.
Yeah, they can hear us now. Capable, the music is going to be listed in the description after they copyright strike me, or go to last week's video, or our last conspiracy theory trivia, and it's listed below. One's called Cutting It Close, and the other's called something, but they're all listed down there. Oh, Tyler?
Coming out. Somebody said we're at Grafton, Illinois, May 2nd through the 5th.
Yeah, click on the link. Tyler put the link in the... Let me put it in the Foxhole chat so they can see. I'll be there.
Heck yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Kicking it with Tylena. There you guys go. Go to that link and check it out. Check out the website.
Tylena Kiwala.
Tyler Kiwala. Right?
Alright. I'm signing off. Good night.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna wait for this here snow.
Right.
Much love to you. Hit me up later.
Good night. Good night, everybody.